In one of the most heinous crimes in United States history, American citizen Chris Watts awaited the return of his pregnant wife from work. Without warning, he strangled her to death in front of their 4-year-old daughter. And to silence his daughter, he committed an even more atrocious act. In the early hours of August 13, 2018, in the town of Frederick, Colorado, Shanann Watts awoke to a tragic reality she never anticipated. Her husband, Christopher Lee Watts, an operator in the oil fields, harbored a deadly secret. That night, Chris committed a gruesome crime that shocked the entire nation. Shanann, 15 weeks pregnant, had just returned from a business trip to Arizona, driven home early in the morning by her friend Nicole Atkinson. But that day was unlike any other. Shanann did not respond to Nicole's calls or messages and missed her appointment with her doctor. Filled with concern, Nicole headed to Shanann's house, only to find it locked with no response. After several failed attempts to reach Shanann, Nicole contacted the police, who began investigating the disappearance of Shanann and her 2 young daughters, Bella, 4, and Celeste, 3. When the investigators arrived at the house, they found no trace of them but discovered Shanann's purse and phone hidden between the couch cushions. They also found her car in the garage, deepening the mystery. During this time, her husband Chris appeared before the media as a grieving citizen pleading for the return of his wife and daughters, all while concealing the dark truth. Days into the investigation, Chris failed a polygraph test. Under mounting pressure, he confessed to his father and subsequently to the investigators that he had killed Shanann. His story, however, was riddled with lies, claiming that Shanann had killed their daughters and he had killed her in a moment of rage. The grim reality was that Chris had murdered Shanann and their daughters with his own hands and buried their bodies at his work site in an oil field. He placed Shanann's body in a shallow grave and disposed of Bella and Celeste's bodies in oil tanks. On August 21st, Chris was charged with first-degree murder and additional counts related to the unlawful termination of Shanann's pregnancy. Following a series of court proceedings, Chris admitted to his crimes in a plea deal that spared him the death penalty. He was sentenced to 5 life terms without the possibility of parole, along with additional penalties for other charges.